whining about that because Donald has demonstrated he has a really, really hard time getting a majority. He only gets 35 to 40% of the vote in any given state. From the beginning, our democracy has required, if you want to be the Republican nominee, you've got to win a majority, and I believe we are going to win a majority. We're going to beat Donald Trump for the nomination, and then we're going to beat Hillary Clinton. As the polling shows that we beat her resoundingly, we're going to win the general election.
So if Donald Trump has 1236, you say you didn't reach the plateau, which a contested convention.
It is real simple, John. To win the nomination, you need a majority. If Donald cannot win a majority, he will not be the nominee. And no amount of whining on his part, why are you making me reach a majority? Every Republican nominee we've ever had got a majority. And if Donald can't get a majority, that also underscores why he can't win a general election. If you can't even get a majority of Republicans, you ain't going to win in November. And so I am very comfortable with the requirement that you must earn a majority of the delegates elected by the people, and I believe we're going to do so either before the convention or in Cleveland at the convention.
I know that earlier today, and I know now it's become a pretty big issue in the campaign where it wasn't before, the issue of abortion. And I actually agree with your comments that you think that Roe v. Wade should be overturned, that it's bad law. I have always felt that way.
Sure.
Knowing that, explain what should happen in terms of abortion. Do you believe it should go to the states? What if do you make exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's life?
Well, listen, I am pro-life. I have a long record defending the right to life. I think we need to protect every human life from the moment of conception until the moment of natural death. And I have a long record defending the right to life. When I was Solicitor General of Texas, the chief lawyer for the state in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, we defended the federal ban on partial birth abortion, and we won 5-4. We defended the state of New Hampshire's laws on requiring parental notification, and we won unanimously. And in Texas, when the state legislature passed legislation, the federal district court struck that legislation down. I personally argued the appeal in the Court of Appeals. We won unanimously, reinstating that law and defunding Planned Parenthood. And so if you want a president who has a proven record defending the right to life, I am the one candidate in the Republican Party who has a proven record doing exactly that. Donald's record on this has been all over the map. You know, just this past week, he bizarrely came out for punishing women, which is a position that makes no sense whatsoever. It's frankly not a position that anyone who has thought seriously about this issue would take, because when it comes to abortion, those who are pro-life, we believe in protecting the unborn children, but we also believe in protecting the women, protecting the moms who have this great gift from God to be able to bring life into the world. And in abortions, there are tragically often two victims: the unborn child who never gets to breathe the breath of life, but also the mom who often suffers devastating consequences from going through the abortion, in many cases being pressured to do so by Planned Parenthood, by social workers, by those who view abortion as a business instead of valuing and cherishing the human life.
You know, it's a more complicated issue than you usually get into in an interview, and I've, like many people, have struggled with this because, especially on issues like rape and incest, I think with medical technology, the issue of a mother's life being in jeopardy is not as pronounced or prominent. I mean, it is 0.0000 whatever percent of the cases. And I just lean, I make a distinction, and I would argue that it's probably intellectually inconsistent if you believe that life begins at conception, and I do, right. But I'd make an exception for people that, in the case of rape and incest, when they did not have a choice, in that case, I make exceptions. But I understand the intellectual inconsistency of it.
Sure, and Sean, I certainly understand and respect that view. When it comes to rape is a horrific evil. You know, I've spent a lot of years in law enforcement going after rapists. I argued in front of the U.S. Supreme Court in support of state laws that provided for capital punishment, the most serious punishment for the very worst child rapists. And so I have a lot of years fighting to stop rape and to punish rapists for their horrible crime. But as horrific as that crime is, at the same time, it's not the child's fault. And so I don't think we should take it out on the child. I think we should protect every human life, and we should celebrate every human life.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we don't value as a society, and especially, you know, places like Planned Parenthood, which have made profits off of all of this.
Yes.
I don't think we put a value. Well, the numbers look good for you in Wisconsin. It looks like you're +7. How do you think you'll do in states like New York, that's Trump's hometown, or Connecticut, or Pennsylvania, or Delaware, Maryland, Rhode Island, which is the next big 5-state contest?
You know, I'm very encouraged by the momentum we've got right now. As I mentioned, for 2 weeks, we have beaten Donald Trump over and over and over again consistently. We beat him in Utah. We beat him in Colorado. We beat him in North Dakota. I believe tomorrow we're likely to beat him in Wisconsin. That's 4 different states, 4 very, very different states. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, Sean, every media analyst was saying that I couldn't compete in a state like Wisconsin, that it was tailor-made for Donald Trump. You know, Wisconsin has historically been a purple or even blue state.
We got about 10 seconds. Yeah.
Not very evangelical. It is a blue-collar, working-class state, and yet our numbers, our support is incredibly strong, and I think that's going to impact the debate nationally as Republicans are united behind our campaign.
Well, I will say this. It is now a 2-person race. Anybody that says otherwise, I don't think is being fair to the people that actually won delegates, won states, and won the votes, and that's you and Trump at this point. I'll let you guys fight it out to the end, and I appreciate you coming on the program, and I hope you'll do another